Hi, my name is Kelly Losi, and I'm the Communications Coordinator for the Benton County Health Department. Today, Benton County is reporting 2 new cases of COVID-19. The first individual is a male in his 70s who is hospitalized, and the second case is also a male in his 20s who is not hospitalized. Our topic today is next week's Benton County public hearing and how you can submit testimony in advance.
Hi, my name is Lili'a Neville, and I'm the Benton County Public Information Officer. Next week, the Benton County Board of Commissioners is having a public hearing on Tuesday, May 5th. This public hearing is for the board to consider 2 ordinances. One is an emergency ordinance, the other is an interim ordinance. These ordinances have to do with allowing religious institutions within the unincorporated areas of Benton County to host vehicles to camp on their property. So when I say unincorporated areas of Benton County, I specifically mean outside the jurisdictions of the City of Corvallis, City of Philomath, and other municipalities within the county. As I mentioned, there are 2 ordinances being considered. One is an emergency ordinance and the other is an interim ordinance. So why an emergency ordinance? Due to COVID-19, vulnerable populations in our community are at even greater risk for health and safety concerns. So this first emergency ordinance is to ensure that we are providing for vulnerable populations right now in this wave as we start to potentially reopen Oregon and Benton County. The interim ordinance is to allow time for a robust public engagement process to occur. So this interim ordinance is supposed to take effect for approximately 18 months. This is to ensure that whether or not we experience a COVID second wave in the summer, early fall, over the winter, that no matter what, we have this timeline to allow for meaningful public engagement before a permanent ordinance is considered. So let me give you a couple of details about the emergency ordinance and then the interim ordinance. The emergency ordinance that will be considered next Tuesday, if it is passed by the Board of Commissioners, it's going to go into effect immediately. Then it will last until July 4th, 2020. On July 4th, the emergency ordinance will sunset, which means it'll come to an end. Also next Tuesday, the board's going to consider the interim ordinance. So the interim ordinance would then become effective July 5th, 2020, and sunset, come to a close, on December 31st, 2021. So if you notice, both ordinances are being heard on the 5th. The emergency one goes into effect immediately and goes until July 4th. As soon as that emergency ordinance comes out of effect, that is when the interim ordinance would then come into effect and remain in effect until December 31st, 2021. In both the emergency and the interim ordinance, vehicle includes a licensed and operable automobile, camper, travel trailer, or recreational vehicle, an RV. Vehicle also will include micro shelters. So for example, micro shelters are a rigid walled, readily transportable, temporary sleeping unit. Upon expiration or the sunsetting of these ordinances, all vehicle camping on registered sites will cease. Additionally, authorization of a vehicle camping on a site does not establish land use or a vested right to continue that activity if that ordinance is to be modified. Individuals that are familiar with the local government public hearing process know that typically testimony is provided physically in person. Pursuant to Governor Brown's executive order issued on April 15th, there will be no physical access to this public hearing in the Board of Commissioners' office. All community members and interested individuals are really strongly encouraged to submit public testimony either via email or via postal service to ensure the Benton County Board of Commissioners can consider your testimony before voting at this public hearing. Submit testimony either via postal mail or email to the addresses you see on screen. Please ensure that you submit all your testimony by Monday, May 4th at 5 p.m. to ensure that the Board of Commissioners has sufficient time to consider all testimony. I just want to underscore that Benton County is deeply committed to the public process and engaging all members of our communities. So please be assured that we will consider all testimony that's submitted by May 4th at 5 p.m., as well as engage in a deep and robust public engagement campaign before any permanent ordinance is brought before the Board of Commissioners. Thank you.